Hi, I'm Ben. Welcome to my book corner. Today we're taking a look at a book that has gone viral in the last month, and that book is This Is How You Lose the Time War by El-Mohtar and Max Gladstone. Initially this came out in 2019 in July, and it was nominated for and has won a slew of awards. However, this really hit the public consciousness at the beginning of May of this year, 2023, with a tweet. The tweet read as follows: "Read this. Do not look up anything about it. Just read it. It's only like 200 pages. You can download it on Audible. It's only like 4 hours. Do it right now. I'm very, extremely serious." That tweet was by Bigolus Dickolus Wolfwood, and it has driven this title all across social media. I've seen it all over TikTok, BookTube, BookTok, Twitter, everywhere. And so I thought, normally I ignore viral stuff, I'll check this one out. And it's an odd one. I'm not going to review this like I normally do because I don't actually want to spoil it, and to review it properly I'd have to spoil a bit of the book. So I'm going to give a vague overview of sort of the stakes of the story and what's going on. And then I'm going to throw it over to you guys, and I want you lot to let me know if you've read this and what you thought of it. So, first things first. This is a time travel sci-fi romance story, and it follows the exploits of two separate agents, Red and Blue. The agents work for an agency, for want of a better word, one from the beginning of time and one from the end, and they are diametrically opposite in the way that they approach everything. The one from the beginning of time is best described as a sentient Garden of Eden, who believes in the natural order of things and natural evolution and the sanctity of biological nature, whereas the other is basically, for want of a better term, a mega computer from the end of time, where everything is enhanced by technology and it's all efficiency and algorithms and math. And these two agents have been traveling up and down the timeline of all the universes that ever were, ever was, and ever could be. And basically they are trying to make sure those universes go along a path that ends up to the ultimate expression of their agency. They've come across each other in the past, never actually met at this point, and they're very much the apex of their agencies, and they begin to respect each other's abilities and skills. And what happens is you flip between the two different characters as they go to a time or a place or a world to try and cause a certain outcome. Sometimes they succeed, sometimes they fail because of the other one, and then they leave a message for the other one to find. This is instigated by Red at the beginning, and then it alternates between Red and Blue throughout the entire story. And the messages aren't necessarily written, although they can be, and there's a danger here because obviously this is colluding with the enemy. You're not meant to keep these sorts of things, and if you get caught then they'll be in trouble and maybe just absorbed into the various timelines. And they get to know each other through these letters where they share their different opinions, their different views of the world, and both of the characters, although you never actually see them, kind of you get a sense of growth from them. And it's very hard to kind of keep track of because of the jumping around the different universes, different times. Sometimes you end up in the same time in a different universe, which can throw you as well. But every single passage is a scenario and then a passing of knowledge from one to the other. And what starts off as sort of a friendly rivalry, because these are the best of the best and they're pushing each other, becomes a genuine respect and eventually evolves into something that looks a little bit like love, as much as it can do for these characters. And you have the general sort of escalation as they realise that certain things have no turning back points, as they potentially get found out by their agencies as well. And that's about as much as I can say about that. In terms of world building, you get a little bit about the different ideologies of the two sides here, but the world building past that is not really there due to the fact you're jumping so much from one time to another, and there's so much difference between the two. You can pick up on various differences to real life, or where it is what real life is. Things like the Great Fire of London, the conquest of Genghis Khan, the assassination of Julius Caesar. All these things are built into the story at various points. So there is reference points there, but frankly, any world building past the agencies themselves is pointless due to the nature of the story. And you only really have the two characters and the overall agencies as well. And they do show a great deal of growth, and that growth is shown through the letters that they write to each other. There is a natural progression to the story as well. It comes to a crescendo. It ends in an interesting way. It's quite open-ended, I think, for where it could go from there. But that's about all I can really say about this. I don't think I've read a book quite like this. This is a wonderfully lyrical story. It almost reads like a poetry book in some regards, especially with the love letters. I'm fascinated to know what you guys think if you've read it. If you have, let me know in the comment below. I've put this bang in the middle of C tier because this is not going to be a book for everyone, and it left me baffled as much as anything else. And I very much feel like some people will absolutely love this book, other people will hate it, and people like me might just come away feeling a bit confused. Well, that's it from me today, just a quick one. Hope you're all doing fine, and I'll catch you all next time.